are live. Guys, welcome to another live episode of Silver Talk. My name is Eli, and we have my co-host with me, JT from JT Cornerings. How's everything going, JT? You forgot to take it off mute, I think. You forgot to take it off mute. Only JT. Only JT.
Guys, what's going on this week?
Oh man.
Eli has me with these new earphones, man. It totally threw me off. I'm like, this, yes.
Awesome. But guys, like we said, welcome to another live episode of Silver Talk. And today's topic we're going to be talking about being an entrepreneur more than a stacker. Why most people can't be wealthy, and gold and silver is a safe haven. All right, but JT, who do we have in the chat here today?
Eli, we have a couple people who jumped right in with us. Early on, we had Bobby Scaleto. We have Alex Miles. We have Scrapping Hoarder and Tinkering Fun, Budget Boy and Stacker. Let me show you here. Show some of the comments here.
Awesome.
We have Scrapping Hoarder and Tinkering Fun and Alex Miles. And we also have Mr. Murdoch, Madlock in the house.
There you go. With a 2-minute countdown again.
Yes. Gotta let you know when we coming in. We have Kevin
How's everything going, Lincoln?
Yep, and we also have Lincoln DMZ.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you guys are watching, thank you so much for joining in the live episode of Silver Talk. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. It's highly appreciated. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed and all that extra good stuff. All right. But JT, let's get right into it. Did you purchase any gold or silver this week? And anybody in the chat too, anyone in the chat, if you did purchase, put it down in the comments below and JT will highlight it.
Yeah, let us know. Yes, this week I bought this basic constitutional. I had to get a Morgan, some more American Silver Eagles. I had received the order, so that was my reasoning for me to do some shopping at the local coin shop this week. Beautiful Morgan from it was Old Mint. So it make that New Orleans. Beautiful couple sets. Hopefully I don't mess up on my coin ring. I can keep one for myself.
All right. Well, technically, when I purchased so much stuff. I know I got me some 2020 American Silver Eagles. Yes. I know I got me 2 gold coin. Well, 1 gold coin American Silver Eagle, and I also got me a gold bar. I think I posted on my community tab and on my Instagram. Make sure you guys following it there. Yeah, it's the Pamp Suisse. It's awesome. So I'm planning. I was talking to JT. I'm like, hey man, I want to get into gold. Before we was live, I was like, hey, I may want to get like at least 5 more ounces of gold by the end of this month. Still thinking about it. Let me know what you guys think. And at the same time, I bought me a lot of maple leaves. I was going in and out the coin shop, so I was getting a lot of maple leaves, just like Michael M's. I think I got about around there, if not 10 to 15 maple leaves. And today I have an order that's a box, should be 2 unboxing coming in. And
that's pretty cool.
I know I got me a kilo of silver shots. I got a whole bunch of constitutional silver, some dimes, and I got 20 American Silver Eagle that's supposed to be coming in today. All right, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, okay. I saw that beautiful pamp on your Instagram. Absolutely loved it.
Oh man, I saw it at the coin shop and I was like, oh, let me get that one.
Yes,
let me get that one. I really liked it. You know, even though it may be some controversy, like a lot of people may not want to get bars. They much rather gold. I mean, coins than bars. But hey, I liked it. And I decided I wanted to. Remember, I said I wanted to rebuild my position within gold.
Right.
And that's just me starting that.
Right. And that's pretty smart that you got this tested before you took it home. So of course, you know for sure that it's 3 9s. So that's pretty good.
4 9s, I think. I'm not too sure.
24 carat.
Okay. Well, when it's gold. It's gold.
Right. That's a good thing. So that's one of the things you should also say, that get your gold checked, plus even from an LCS.
Exactly. Awesome. And I seen a lot of people buying a whole bunch of them gold as well in the chat. JT was highlighting them. I was actually reading them. I can't remember exactly what for me to repeat it, but I see a lot of people made some purchases. That's great.
Yeah.
Right. But guys, if you're watching, doesn't matter if you're on JT's channel, if you're on the Urban Lifestyle channel, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, and not just subscribe, hit the like button as well. All right. It really helps out both of the algorithms. Okay. All right, so JT, let's go over the gold and silver prices. How did gold, platinum, silver, and palladium do throughout the whole entire week? So we know last week it went down a lot, and I took some advantage of that. And I was hoping that the prices would stay down a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
but it did it because right now gold prices are at $1,673.10. Silver prices is at $17.33. Platinum is at 903. All right.
Mm.
And palladium is at $2,451 exact. JT, what's your thought about the little bump up in prices? Did you want it to stay down from like last week's lows?
Well, first talk about the bump up. I was
Mm-hmm.
pretty excited to see it go up. And when I was talking to my LCS yesterday, we found out that this is one of the fastest descensions and ascensions of gold in a long while. So
Mm-hmm.
it's exciting to see that the predictions that may come later on the show that we may see gold at a certain point by the end of the year. It looks promising. So I wish number two, I wish I took advantage on more of the silver dump. But I see
Mm-hmm.
that silver is now trying to make it back steady. So, no, I haven't taken advantage of
Okay.
like I would like to.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it came so unexpected. It's not something that's why I like to say, hey, I like to put money aside for little stuff just like that.
Hmm.
And plus, we're going into the speed round. Something happened this week. A lot of stuff happened this week,
Hmm.
but let's just focus on certain stuff. Some of the stuff that did happen, like Fed's cutting down the interest rates. What's your thoughts about that? And could that be one of the factors that actually caused the prices to spike back up?
Most definitely. The Fed is definitely pushing a lot of money in it back into the banks and into the economy to get it
Mm-hmm.
stimulated, and it's not working. I mean, it's pretty excessive. What's
Mm-hmm.
going on right now with all the push? I think over $100 billion it's going close to that they're pumping in a day. So they're doing a lot of printing of money. Is this going to help the economy? Is it going to help the dollar? As we see, the stock market is tanking. So it's a lot of things that we see the signs of the things that we asked people to prepare for um, months and last year. Get ready
Mm-hmm.
to get your money and your precious metals in order because you may see the R word come real soon, a recession.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, it makes so much sense. They're printing so much more money, and they're valuing the dollar a little bit more, and they're cutting interest rates. And even with me, I had I had my Robinhood account, right? And we're going to talk about
Hmm.
Robinhood in a few while too. I do want to say appreciate it, Mr. Medlock, for the 4.99. Thank you so much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
With Robinhood, they used to give 1.8% cash back, well, interest on the money you keep in there. And now
Hmm.
they cut it down to 1.3. And of course, they let us know, hey, if the Feds cut down interest rates, they are going to cut down what they pay us back. All right.
Hmm.
So I've seen it when it was at 2% and it went down to 1.8, and now it's at 1.3. So I'm a
Right.
bit down about that. But at the same time, it's something going on. Like you said, JT, they're trying to stimulate the economy, and you said it's not working. They're
No,
printing more money. They're printing a lot more money. And what does that do? That brings down. And anytime they cut down interest rates, that always boosts up the price. So I believe that does have a factor within the gold and silver prices being jacked up. Okay.
hmm
Now, speaking of that, Robinhood, they did shut down. What's your thoughts about that, JT? They shut down in between Monday and Tuesday, a little bit on Tuesday, and that caused a lot of people to lose money because they lost some of them those gains, and a lot of people put options on some certain companies, and their company they get pretty much they gambled against it, right?
hmm
Saying that it was going to go down that day, but that day did it, so they couldn't sell their positions.
hmm
What's your thoughts on that, JT?
Okay, we're going to talk about the Robin Hood. It just shows you that the Robin Hood is not there yet as one of the premier broker sites. It has revolutionized the ability for people to do cashless or cash free, no commission trades and buys,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome and is a great marketing tool. But what this outage has shown is that they still need got work to do. They should be able to handle the traffic. One thing that's been brought out to the attention of Robinhood is that 2013 um, about how they put things out prematurely, program wise, But the most important thing is they never ever dealt with a recession. So when people are running to the site to get access to their funds to take advantage of certain changes, you have to be able to do that. So this is probably one of the big tests that the outage shown
Mm-hmm.
right now, and I hope that they can fix it because they do have some great options and gives us a lot of ability to buy and trade, and I like that.
Gotcha. Now, as for me, I really didn't get affected by it because I didn't have any stocks held within Robinhood at that
Hmm.
time. Um, so I didn't really Robinhood for me. I just keep the cash in there and just accumulate the interest. So it's better than keeping it into a savings account where
Hmm.
I'm getting a 0.00000 million 0.1%. Right.
Hmm. But
So I was like, I'll just keep it in there and just get that
right.
1.8 now 1.3% cash back. So I didn't really get affected by it, but a lot of people knew I had Robinhood, and especially on this channel where I'm always talking about, hey, if you guys want a free stock on Robinhood, the links down in the
Hmm.
description below. So I just wanted to talk about that, to show that hey, I'm not sponsored by Robinhood. It's just an app that gives a free stock, and if you use my referral link. So it's not like hey, I'm sponsored by them. I'm not getting money by them or anything like that. It's just hey, I feel like it's a good thing. You get a stock if you use the referral link, and I get a stock if you guys use the referral link. So it is like that. I try to stay away from it as far as the channel, of course. But yeah, like you said, they went down because it was a lot of traffic, correct?
Yeah, it's a lot of traffic. It's one of the things that kind of tests their ability to withstand the traffic in a rush. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one reason of the outage. And just that some customers felt a certain type of way that they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get to their monies the way they wanted a plan to. It just says that any site will crash, but you would like it to not crash at an important time like that. So people are a little concerned, and that was one of the biggest things. They handled it pretty well. Robinhood is learning from their past mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm hoping that they will learn from this as well.
No, of
Yeah.
course, of course.
So if it's basically, we always think about this. If you're going to put in stocks, it's long term anyway. So that's why some people
Exactly.
are not concerned, but you want to be concerned with the vehicle that you use in order to make those trades, and that's
No, of
why
course.
this was brought up.
Of course, of course. And like we said before, a lot of people lost money within those 2 days.
Right.
Okay. Now, JT, there's something else I want to say because we know the world that we were, when we was living in when you were 10 or when I was 10 is a totally
Hmm.
different world today. Back
Right.
then we had When Dixie, and then now last year when Dixie's, filed bankruptcy or they went out of business or something. There's a lot of changes that's happening in the world today, and one of them could be in the grocery section. All right,
Hmm.
I see Amazon. They're coming out with something called Amazon Go. Right, you heard about that?
Pretty much. I did read an article on that, and I was pretty amazed.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon Go is another vehicle that Amazon is using to take over the world. Um, One thing that they are doing, you got to realize they're going into the grocery sector, and know that they did buy um, Whole Foods maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years ago. So you look at that, they take one of the most premier food chains to see what they're going to do with it, to maybe to do online goods. But as you see now, Amazon Go, they're now taking over like locations in certain cities, but they're starting in Seattle, Washington right now, which is known to be the tech, um, capital of the world. And they're trying out Amazon Go with all the new scanners, over 200 scanners inside of a grocery store, and it's giving the customer the experience to go through, get what they want, and just go because it's already on their bill. Now, the grocery sector is about what over 3.5 million people in the United States works in that field in some form or fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, will this challenge their job? When we look at maybe 10 years ago, what was bought in most of the supermarkets around the world, the United States, selfless, checkout. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can go up and pay for your food, and there's no teller. So you're looking at that took over maybe 6 lines in an average supermarket. So what will Amazon Go do? How would it affect the economy? Number one, and number two, how many jobs would that take? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Like I was saying, way back then, there was a whole bunch of stuff that took away jobs, and we probably didn't pay attention to it. But
Mm-hmm.
the world is changing real fast, and it's changing right in front of our eyes. All right. So I believe some common jobs that we know to be like safe today may not be around later on. Like I always said, I have a friend. He was able to take care of it. He used to do he still do taxi service. Now he's doing
Mm-hmm.
taxi and Uber and Lyft. But back then he was able to provide for his family. His wife didn't work. His kids, went to school. So he was able to take care of a whole entire family by just running a taxi business. Not even a taxi business, just having a taxi car and running it that way. He made so much money doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we see Uber comes in and just eats all that up to the point where even the company I was working before this shuts down. It shut down in January. They can't compete with Uber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just the business model is being so much more fine-tuned with robots or AI, artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much stuff that's going on that we have to think in the future.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I went to a McDonald's like sometime this week, and I didn't go to the cashier. I just went straight to, there was a line there, yeah, but I just went straight to the menu and I just pressed all that screen down there and they called my number and that's
Mm-hmm.
how I paid. So imagine how much jobs those are taking away. All right. And
Right.
it ties into all this because right now we have jobs leaving. We have what you call it? Feds printing, cutting down interest rates. They're printing more money,
Print more
devaluing the
money.
money.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So when you look at that, you have to think long term. You can't just make short term decisions. All right. You have to look like 10, 20, 30 years down the line. All right. Especially if you're planning to retire around those times, you have
Mm-hmm.
to look at the trends and you have to see what can you do to be a part of that.
Right.
All right. What can you do? Like Bill Gates, he said, well, this was way back then. He said, hey, there's only going to be 2 types of business in the future:
Mm-hmm.
online business or out of business. And we've been seeing a lot of online business, and we're seeing within the past 15 years, a lot of companies did go out of business. Radio Shack, Toys R Us, Circuit City, a lot of companies went out of business, and all those companies had what? They had people in there working, so a lot of jobs did
Mm-hmm.
go out. All right. So it is just something that we have to think about and to protect our money. That's why we talk about gold and silver a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So putting it in safe haven. But that's pretty much what we had on that point. But JT, let's interact with chat. Let's see what people are saying in the chats.
Yeah, we have busy chat today. We
Mm-hmm.
have a
Oh, I do want to say, give me one moment. Scrapping Hoarder and Tinker and Fun. Appreciate the 5 spot. Thank you so much. It's highly appreciated. It does help run the channel. All right.
awesome. We have Fred Gar who reads what are your guys' thoughts on possible food shortages? There are already shortages on freeze fried foods online. That's awesome.
Mm.
What's your thoughts on seeing that already?
I mean, we have the deer flu coming in. Is to be honest, as far as how can I say it? As far as me, someone who, as my point of view, as far as my point of view, for someone
Mm-hmm.
who's taking care of himself and his family, the way we view it is, hey, good thing we have a skill to fall back on.
Yes.
Right. If anything happens, like, yeah, we're in Miami. We don't see it often, but we do have chickens around. We do have chickens around here. So my wife, she knows how to do whatever she has to do to make sure she's able to cook them. Okay. We have,
Mm-hmm.
there's local farms around here that has animals. So you have to put yourself in a situation, or not in a situation, the best possibility. All right, if that makes sense, the best possible outcome that you can to provide for you and your family. But
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts, JT?
You kind of threw me off because you you start going into, we always talking about skills that's needed
Uh-huh.
if jobs are ever taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, took me off
No, no,
that.
no, no, no. I was talking about the food shortage.
Okay,
Skills like hunting,
okay,
things
got
like
you.
that. That's what I
Okay,
was talking
okay.
about.
Okay, hold up. Let me throw it back. But most definitely, you gotta. When the food shortage is right now is showing one thing:
Mm-hmm.
people are panicking. And that's one thing that we go into. I went into the supermarket yesterday. All the hand sanitizer,
Gone.
all the Perel. So you could think about. I seen a meme yesterday of them just throwing money at each other. Lysol can throwing one the corporation throwing at one money at the person out. They just throwing each other. They making so much money right now. So much money is being made. But this is what happens in panics. Some companies fall. Some companies rise up. So when I go into the supermarket, I see all the toilet paper, all the toiletries. I see all the Lysol wipes. I see people stacking up on water. Well, thank goodness they're doing it. Can you say that it's late because right now people are still surviving? But what it tells you is that we should have continued to plan on a daily basis. With making sure our house is stocked, make sure our house is taken care of during this time. So when we do need it, we don't experience the shortages that we see happening all over the stores in America.
No, of course. Okay. Well, any other comments? That was a great one by Fred Gar.
Yes.
Oh, guys, I also want to mention I got my Silver Talk mug. JT doesn't. I showed this baby off like around 5 times already.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody's right here, always by my side. Doing the show. Unfortunately, I drank all my coffee before the show.
Oh man.
We have Jimmy Lasari. I noticed a lot of price gouging going on with a lot of products like hand sanitizer, storable food. Yes, most definitely. I've seen alcohol yesterday. A bottle of small alcohol for $2.69, and usually that's a go around price of maybe $1.50. But to see close to $3 on alcohol, I recognize that people were taking advantage of this crisis as well.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Like I went on Amazon for some hand sanitizer and some Lysol, and I was looking at the price. I'm like, nah, this can't be the correct price for this thing. Like it never cost that much.
Yeah.
But even when my favorite place to go to is the Dollar Tree, and everything is, they won't raise it above $1. Everything's $1 there, but you can't find it. Every cleaning supply, it looks like a dead town. When you go to the cleaning section, it looks like a ghost town.
Yeah, most definitely. That's what I said. We gotta, I gotta plan ahead. Make sure you go ahead and get this stuff early because I would hate to need it and can't get it. I tell you, it's crazy.
Tell me about it. But guys, appreciate it again. If you guys are watching, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. It's highly appreciated. Thank you so much for joining in. All right. So JT, any other comments, or you want to go straight to the topics?
Yeah, we go right to the topics. Because most of the comments are basically on the same thing.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the first topic, which is me being more of an entrepreneur than a stacker. I know I come on YouTube and if you're just watching me on YouTube, you'll think, oh man, this guy's a hardcore stacker. He puts stacking above everything. But to be honest with you, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always looking for ways to make a buck. And it's just that entrepreneur spirit in me. I always had it. And I just needed an outlet to put it through. And I saw when I started buying silver and I saw there was a market for it. I saw there was a great community. I was like, hey, cool. I want to be part of that. I want to, be an entrepreneur. I want to capitalize on that. So everything I do, there's always an entrepreneur spirit behind it. Like, all right, hey, how can I'm stacking gold, I'm stacking silver. How can I turn this into a business? All right. The same way when me and my wife talked and she was like, hey, I should get a job. I was like, hey, hold on. Before you go and do that, I read this book, Acres of Diamonds. Everything you need is within you. How about, we leverage your business, we market your business, and we turn that into a business. All right. So it's always everything I do, and JT always every time when I'm talking to JT always hears it in me. I'm like, JT, but yeah, man, dude, you could do this, and monetize it this way and do it this way. I'm always talking to JT about that. Like, if I see something, let's say a hobby, I could look at any hobby. My homeboy talks about, oh yeah, he could be a DJ. I'm like, man, you could turn that. He likes DJ, and I was like, dude, you could turn that into a business. I'm here writing a business plan for him. You feel me? But of course, you need to have an entrepreneur mind to actually take it. All right. He's like, oh no, that's gonna take too much time. Nah, man, it's just a hobby. You feel me? So when I say that, I mean, yeah, you may see me do certain stuff like I'll purchase an iPhone, and a lot of people are like, oh man, why don't you just buy silver, or why are you buying a $1,500 iPhone? Because the iPhone paid for itself already. I bought it September. The iPhone paid for itself twice already with the things I do on the phone. It's not just me buying an iPhone. Hey, I feel like there's a better camera on there, and the chip on there is much faster. I can get stuff done quicker and more efficient with the new one. So that's why I purchased it, and it worked for me. I was able to streamline all my content. So pretty much the whole point of me being more of an entrepreneur than a stacker, I stack to protect my money. If I'm going to be out there making money, I need to make sure I'm not wasting my time, because this is my time I'm putting in to make the money out there. And 10 years down the line, the money I worked for 10 years ago is worth half of what I originally worked for it for. So that's like saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to spend 50 years of my life, but only 25% of the years is really going to matter. Makes sense. And that's the reason I stack, to protect my wealth. So I'll keep stacking, but at the same time, if I can figure out a way to make money off silver legitly and legally, I'm going to do that. What's your thoughts, JT? Because I know you have your cornering business as well. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, after my first year and coming into stacking and collecting, I found that because I do coin rings, I do make most of my purchase through the week buying coin rings or rounds I can melt to sell. So I have to find a great balance. And I think that once you get into a hobby like coin collecting, but also have entrepreneurial, a mindset, you will try to find certain things you can do involved in that hobby that you are doing. Like I have this mantra that I learned. You learn, and then intentionally you'll earn. So I try to combine the both of what I like to do. I do still collect coins. I like showing that, but I love the hobby and the soon-to-be business of coin ring making. So I kind of combine both of them, and this is what you have. And also, I love presenting. So this is what we're doing now, presenting information on a platform to the community.
Of course. And because you hear it all the time. You hear it all the time within the community or outside of it. You hear, listen, there's no silver is not for investment, and silver is not for this, or you can't make money off silver, or silver is to protect. Yeah, of course, but if there's a way for you to make money, like what we was talking about last week, the reverse proof American Silver Eagle.
Right.
If you bought it for 65 and you have a chance to sell it for 200, would you just not take it?
No, I would take it most definitely. For sure.
Hey, if somebody say, hey, they're gonna come here and give me, let's say, $100 right now for each silver piece I give them. Let's believe I'm not gonna have any silver piece right now. I'll probably take some of it and go rebuy my stack again, because it's $100 a piece. But at the same time,
well, you gotta look at what people believe that when a person says investment. Okay, that's what I think puts people in at ease, because the definition of investment, about dividends, getting paid out, putting something in at a present time. And
hey, JT froze. Am I frozen, or is it? Yeah, it's JT that's frozen. You guys still hear me, right? You guys still hear me? Type in a 1 if you guys still hear me or something. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
Every time I get excited, the energy moves and stops everything. My apologies, but and we were talking about. I lost my train of thought.
Oh man,
what were you talking about? I totally threw off. Anyway, Anyway, I totally went off. So we're gonna go to the next topic on that. I came in, came back out, and went blank.
Nah, it's cool. Pause. But for damn, you took my train of thought too. Totally took my train of thought.
Scrapping, hoarding, anything in front of us. I got stunned. Yeah, totally thrown off.
Oh man. But hey, hold on. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around what we was talking about again. All right. So yeah, being an entrepreneur.
There we go.
There you go. If you're buying silver, of course, it's a it's a good thing because you can use it as protection. At the same time, you can make money off it. All right, and it's not. There's multiple ways to make money off it. All right. Of course, you can flip it, or you can just hold it, and then money comes in. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Long term, of course.
Right.
So there's ways to look at it. All right. So when you take the word investment, how do people? What's your definition for
Mm-hmm.
investment, JT?
Well, you want to look at the word and investment. You look at, like I said before, putting in something, putting fiat into something that will gain you some dividends, a profit. It's a different vehicle than what silver and gold was intended for. So when
Mm-hmm.
people hear the word as a safe haven to now becoming an investment, I look at it like, let's not use the word investment when it comes down to the business aspect. Look at the
Mm-hmm.
profit. I'm looking to profit from my silver and my gold by offering
There you go.
services. So it takes that investment because we know what investment means. And silver and gold is not an investment, but we can profit from it based off our business venture.
There you
Um,
go.
an unknown openoid knows, yes, I'm sure that your mission has not had changed when it comes down to silver and gold. A plan to sell and buy real estate is basically
Mm-hmm.
what she's saying. She said,
Mm-hmm.
she's asking that. I thought your plan was to sell and buy real estate.
No, of course, of course. No,
Hmm.
well, it wasn't for me to sell and buy real estate. It was more. I said if the prices of gold or silver like doubles, and I have the opportunity to buy real estate, I would take it. Like I
Hmm.
would, sell my silver for another asset class.
Hmm.
If the opportunity to present itself, but just not like right now. If I have, let's say, 500,000 in silver,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and buy real estate and just take it. Nah, because it's not where I want it to be right now.
Hmm.
Makes sense. I'm saying if the price is just jacks up, let's say silver is at $50,000 $50.
Okay, it's a lot of money.
I know, right? $50 an ounce, and then I have enough to put down on a real estate property. Then yes, I would do it.
Okay.
But it's not like, hey, that's the definite go-to plan to for my silver.
And then
Okay.
I feel the best way to invest when it comes to stocks, ETFs, that's K Berry 1249 South States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Good
is
one.
because stock market. If you just go through a regular ETF, it should give you around a 6 to 8% return on a year,
Hmm.
right? But you're not seeing that with silver.
No.
You're
Well, I
not
mean,
seeing that with silver
we're
unless
seeing
it goes up 8% within that year.
we're seeing some bumps, but not much of a bump. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good way of an investment. Now that's investing in silver, dealing in the paper aspect,
Mm-hmm.
which most in the precious metal community we do like having our own silver and gold in our possession. But ETFs are a way. I know a lot of people who look into getting into that as well. But when you think about entrepreneurial mindset when it comes to precious metals, you're talking about maybe trading, um, waiting for the best time to sell it for a special coin that's coming out,
Mm-hmm.
making products from it like jewelry and also pours. That's what you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about, entrepreneurial, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha.
But exactly, exactly. But as far as with me, it's not just I'm an entrepreneur just based on silver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an entrepreneur minded person. So hey, if you give me this right here, and I'm like, hey, you know what, I can make a business model out of it, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Makes sense. Like me and my wife, we went into the hair. She has a salon. She does hair, and then she came up to me. She's like, hey, she wants to buy hair,
Mm-hmm.
so she can sell. I was like, all right, hey, don't just come up to me like that and tell me because I'm not gonna worry about it. It's not, I don't see nothing in it. You have to explain it to me. I told her just explain it to me as far as find some place that sells the hair for cheap. Tell me how much you can sell it compared to the actual stores that actually sells them,
Mm-hmm.
and write a business plan and show me how many people come use that hair. And she wrote it down. She came up to me, hey, I found a place that sells it for $2. The store sells it for $5. We can sell it for $4.50. Boom. Right then and there. The next day I
Mm-hmm.
had the money. I was like, hey, let's go to the place.
Mm-hmm.
She came to me like she was telling me about buying beads for kids, and I was like, I don't understand that. Why don't they just go buy it? She went online. She found out the cheapest she can buy it for, and she showed me, hey, she can get around 12 packs for $18. The store sells it for $4, and I did the math. I was like, hey, okay, that's way more than we're actually purchasing it from. All right, here, let's go. We got it. The next day, we went and got it. But she's been telling me about the hair. She's been telling me about the hair for like what, a good year. And I just been brushing it off until she came up with a business plan. So when I say I'm an entrepreneur, it's not just on silver.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's just not on silver. My life is based around being an entrepreneur. At
Mm-hmm.
silver, me being a stacker is to protect the efforts that I'm doing over here.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. I know I had to take you guys all around as far as hair product. And JT's like, hey, Eli, this is not hair talk. This is
Right.
silver talk.
Let's talk about silver hair. No, but I understand your mind. Understand what you're trying to say. That basically everything that you put your hands on, you look at the entrepreneurial aspect of
Exactly.
it. I know when I'm personally when I'm looking at silver, when I'm looking at coins, I always think, will this coin look good as a coin ring? That's first, number one. I look at the detail, look at the lettering, how the pictures look, the obverse, reverse side. And then if it doesn't, I say, well, man, this coin's pretty nice because it still caught my attention. I may want to have this in my collection on my stack. So I got a nice Stormtrooper coin yesterday from the LCS. Not the stacking Stormtrooper, but a Stormtrooper round. I never had one yet, but that's something that I like to have. But I also at the same time look to say, would this be a nice coin ring that I could sell? Does it still have the details that may be a benefit? So right there, I'm at the crossroad of being an entrepreneur and also being a lover of the coin and a stacker. So you find yourself at that crossroad at times. And when I thought about this subject, that's what I kind of wanted to play around with.
No, of course, of course. So in a nutshell, it's always good to compartmentalize. Hopefully I said it right. Yeah, so all right, hey, there's times where I have my stacker switch turned on when I go to a coin shop. I'm like, hey, you know what? I want this, I want this, I want this. And then at times I have to turn on the entrepreneur side of me.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Anybody has anything any comments, JT?
I'm not about this topic. A lot about the ETFs, ETFs and stuff. So
no problem. Let's just interact with them.
Jimmy Lasari was saying I was looking into ETFs too, but the volatility, I am starting more and more to believe if you don't hold it, you don't own it.
That's true. That's true.
Definitely agree with that. I'm gonna go up to Boss Dog. Boss Dog says if you're buying bullion right now, look around first. One coin shop is buying a spot and selling for $1 over on bullion rounds only. Another is buying for 50 cents under spot and selling for $1.60 over. Good point. Good point. Definitely, you want to pull out your calculator and know what you're up against, and you want to shop around with deals. Fred Gar says the assets you have with positive cash flow and more silver you can buy.
Exactly.
Perfect point.
Exactly. I told JT this yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was like, hey, when I first started doing my YouTube videos, like the first year of me doing YouTube videos, me buying silver came from my cash, my job. I had to take some money aside, but now it's like I'm not buying silver with any of income that comes from my job. It's pretty much assets that produce income and things like that. Whether if I get anything through YouTube, so my silver is being bought from my own personal businesses.
And that's a beautiful thing when you can realize that you can also monetize your hobby or your passion. So, and sometimes you can do it seamlessly. It just came natural. Like, hey, you're doing shows talking about what you choose to collect and stack, while some people just stack and collect, right? So right now you monetize by doing the videos, which is pretty awesome. So you got to find little ways to do it. So everybody, when you sit down and think about it, a lot of people have entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah, you sit down and talk to them.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Now, JT, we did talk about this last topic, or not last topic. The second topic is why I believe that it's very hard to be wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
for the average person. And I came up with a statement and I was like, hey, it's hard for you to focus on the future and you're in survive mode. Because when you're in survive mode, you're like, hey, when's my next meal? When's the next bill I got to pay? When I got to do this, I got to do this. All right. It's hard to see beyond the next
Mm-hmm.
paycheck that you're about to receive to make sure you take out the fires that's in your house, the financial fires that's in your house. And what's your thoughts on that, JT? Because you had some great, excellent thoughts when I mentioned it the first time.
I just think about we can't do anything, like you said, in a state of panic. I had a good friend that told me that you can't see yourself in running water. Things got to be still. You got to have certain things done first to keep that peace. And you can't think about adding anything to your economic warehouse if you don't have your basic bills taken in order, if you don't have basic needs taken in order. I think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs,
Mm-hmm.
how you have to have certain things: food, clothing, shelter, protection, and all these things before you
Mm-hmm.
even think about other levels of gaining finances.
Mm-hmm.
um, so yes, you have to be prepared to move to the next level, even though the next level is needed by everyone. You have to do things before you go to that step. So when I thought about that statement you made, I had to break it down like that to truly understand the essence of it.
Mm-hmm. No, it makes sense. And I always said, what benefited me was I was at a level I was only making $500 every
Mm-hmm.
paycheck, right? So that's like about $1,000 a month, and my bills didn't surpass $500, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but of course, I was living with my mom. I was living at her house, and I didn't have to pay any bills. I probably just helped her out a little bit here and there. But when it came to me, and I was like, hey, you know what? I want to go to the next level. I had the mindset. I was like, hey, this is exactly how much I'm going to need for me to get there and keep my. This is where my bill's gonna have to remain. This is where my bill's gonna have to remain
Mm-hmm.
for me not to to get stressed out, right? And then you create outside income from that. So it put me in a situation where, hey, all the bills are paid and I have an emergency fund and I have all that. But JT, though, the thing is, what about people who's already at a higher level of living?
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's already at a higher, because for you to tell someone who's making $100,000 a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who has house, who has all those extra stuff, credit card, school loans, and all those stuff that they have to make sure they take care of. On top of kids, they have to put food on the table for them to eat. When you have all that, is a bit harder to downgrade the living.
Yeah, most definitely.
So for you to take advantage of that, because there's stuff that you feel that you're gonna need. I always there's this friend I have, and to be honest with you, I thought he was a bum. I thought he was a bum. No lie. We was always at the basketball court. He'll play. He never wore the same clothes, but he's always there. But I've never seen him say, "Hey, all right, guys, I'm going home." He's always on a bike, and he's probably like what in his he was around 45, so right now he's probably 50. So when I was talking to him, we was playing basketball, and I was talking to him. He was like, "Yo, the reason I'm like this, and the reason I always have money is because I don't have all the mental barriers that a lot of people have."
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? His bike can get him anywhere he wants. He don't need a high-tech phone. He don't need the Netflix. He don't need all that. And he told me basically 100 years ago, all the stuff that we have now that they needed back then. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, they didn't have it. He's like, exactly. So if there were he didn't need TV, he's like, he don't need TV, he don't have that. He's probably making, I don't know how much he's making. He's probably making a little bit less, but he's able to enjoy it more because he don't have that much stuff weighing him down.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Like when you think about it, all right, hey, I was like, hey, let me cut my bills down. And I was like, oh man, I need the internet because the kids need it. The wife needs it. We have people coming here. We're gonna need internet. But if I needed to cut that $50 short, in my mind, I put a barrier like, nope, that's need. That's a need. That's a it's not a want, it's a need because I need internet, right?
Yeah.
So when you put it in that aspect, it's like not saying that, hey, go cut your internet off. I'm just saying it's harder when you're living at this level to be like, you know what, I want to come back down to this level versus when my situation, I was at this level and I was like, hey, I can build on top of it. I can build my financial and just make sure I bump it up to this level right here. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? So it's easier to come from here to here than from here to get down here, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your thoughts, JT? Anything else you want to add?
The biggest thing is just make sure you can take care of the first step before you go to the second. It's the hardest thing about that topic is that majority of, and as you know, as I feel, of American households are at that point
Mm-hmm.
that they can't get to the next level because they may be bogged down with all that, bills and things they couldn't take care of, like student loans, mortgage payments, car notes, getting their kids prepared. It's a medical condition. So many things can happen that may keep a person at a certain level. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole thing is about how can that person break free to get to the next point. But when it comes down to precious metals, you know how I feel. People say, "Oh, you should not purchase precious metals if you have debt." Uh,
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me you may be debt free, but you still experience some type of debt. As you're still paying your mortgage if your house is not paid for. You're still paying for car payments if your car not paid for. So something is a debt. So I think that maybe you should monitor your spending limit. I
Mm-hmm.
still would like to buy at least one American Silver Eagle if I possibly could, because I know still the importance of silver and stacking precious metals. But should I stop and not do it at all and only do it when I'm able to? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it makes sense because even in school, um, all the older people they tell me, "Hey, make sure you pay off all your debt. Pay off all your debt. Pay off your debt first." Even here, we hear people in the community say, "Hey, don't buy silver unless you pay off your debt. Make sure you're debt free, then buy silver."
Hmm.
But if you really think about it, and even when you hear people giving steps on how to be rich or whatever it may be, they're telling you, "Hey, make sure you pay off your debt real quick and then save your emergency fund. Then you go to your emergency fund." But
Hmm.
let's really think about it. So you're saying, all right, so I'm paying my debt. I have nothing safe. Everything I have is going straight to my debt, right? Now, what happens if I do get an emergency?
Hmm.
I can't go back to the people that I paid the debt to, and I was like, "Hey, I got an emergency. Can I get $1,000 back from that?"
Right.
So it's a bit hard. You have to look at it in the sense of, because there's one thing that they always say. They always say, pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. The best thing to do is don't get into unnecessary debt.
Right.
If and don't go ahead and buy a computer, $1,500 computer, $1,400 computer, all those extra stuff that you really don't need, and don't put. If you have the money to buy it off cash, great.
Hmm.
But if you don't, then don't either save up for it, but don't
Hmm.
just throw yourself into debt for because you're going to be paying interest rates on that debt and all. Yeah, it's unnecessary stuff. And I was talking to JT. I was like, JT, if I went and bought my car for $8,000 cash,
Hmm.
right? Paid it off cash. I was like, it's easier. It's things are more cheaper for me. Things are more cheaper for me to actually, from the fact that I have money than someone who don't have the money.
Hmm.
Because I just paid $8,000. Boom, that was it. Somebody who let's say somebody else, they go and they make payments on that car. All right, that
Hmm.
$8,000 will turn up within the next span of 5 years. It would be what, $15,000,
Yeah.
right? Because the interest rates on that is gonna, is gonna add more money to it. So it really doesn't make sense. And you could kind of say it's unfair.
Hmm.
Reason being is because, hey, I have the money and it's cheaper for me
Hmm.
than someone who doesn't have it.
Hmm.
Make sense?
Makes
So,
it's definitely
mhm,
people got to keep it straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you're paying debt, interest rates, that's debt. Instead of paying flat out and not paying, to have ability to pay over time,
mhm,
that's the benefit. To have the money to do so has to be the strategy of that household or the individual. But most importantly, you can manage the debt by not paying that much interest. But the point of this right here is to cut down to a point that you can manage and control everything. Because if the economy was at a certain point, you having cash or anyone having cash, everything's going to be inflated.
mhm,
So some people said, but what about the price of a car? Couldn't be $8,000 anymore, and it has to be $50,000.
mhm,
Or you have to be put in that position because everything's raised up in order to pay, or the person will always be priced out depending on the purchase.
mhm,
So when it comes down to, you have to make sure that you're smart. if you're not able to pay for a house flat out for $150,000, $300,000 to cut out of interest in a
Mm-hmm.
mortgage payment,
Mm-hmm.
'cause some people have the ability to do so. You say, hey, I got to make sure I make smart payment plans and not have so much interest that's going to take away parts of my wealth. So it can be a car in your instance, or it can be a house for another.
Mm-hmm.
Just make smarter moves depending on what part of the pendulum or the fence that you're on.
Exactly. But at the same time, it goes back full circle because you can't make smart moves if you're on survival mode. If you're
Mhm.
just focusing on, all right, hey, listen, I just need to make sure I have food. I need to make sure this bill is taken care of because I'm 3 months back and now they gave me the pink slip. All right.
Not the
So I
pink
have to make
slip.
sure I take that.
Oh, I hate the pink slip. I don't want the
And,
pink slip.
and I was surprised. I was like, man, hopefully I get it right because I don't know the color. I never received it. So I don't know what color it's supposed to be. My bad, JT, not bragging though.
What's that?
Now I'm saying me not seeing the pinks, me not even knowing if it was actually pink because I never
Oh,
received anything.
no,
I never received the final notice.
I used to have. I heard people did that. I never lost a job, so
Oh,
unfortunately,
got you.
yeah, I used to know that that's what people say they fearful of.
Uh-huh.
I always been gainfully employed. I'm sorry. Thank God for
Awesome,
that.
awesome. All right, so anybody, let's go into the chat. I know we kind of
Mhm,
ignored it for the past 10 minutes.
mhm.
Let's just see what people's talking about. Guys, if you're watching this, I want to say thank you. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. It's highly appreciated. Make sure you subscribe to either JT and the Urban Lifestyle channel is very appreciative. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead, JT.
We have gone through a lot of the comments. Unknown opinionoid states, not to the black man as we see cars as assets because our community employment deserts. Car is a lifeline. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people see cars as an asset, which is definitely is not. Because as soon as you pull it off, it depreciates.
In value.
I recently bought a barber dimes for $1.40 each. That's a smoking deal in my mind. $1.40. Yeah,
That's great right there.
um,
That's great. I have a lot of them coming in. I don't know how much I paid for them.
yeah. I
Yeah,
love
should be
barber
in
dimes.
today.
I actually love the design. What to say? So Scrapping Hoarding Treatment Fund says he stay away from those, Fred, due to silver loss. The barber dimes, and this is a concern too. I think that barber dimes, Mercury dimes, and Roosevelt dimes are the ones in question, but I think the Roosevelt dimes keep more of the silver over time. So I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people like Rosie's. Scrapping Hoarding Treatment Fund. Let me know in the comments. Is that what you heard as well?
Gotcha. Awesome. Let me pull up the iPad here so I can see. The thing is, since it's on both pages, I can only see what's on the Urban Lifestyle page. So you guys should just leave JT's page and come over to the Urban Lifestyle page.
Don't you do it. Do it. Mr. Madlock says, I know this lady at work with makes an extra $8K a month just selling hair to people locally. Good gracious.
Yeah, shoot. It's possible, man. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad my wife came up with the business plan, and I'm glad she made me understand it. Because honestly, I didn't know nothing about hair, so she could talk to me, but unless you bring up numbers, I don't see it. Haas, how's everything going, Haas? Oh man, long time no see, bro. Nice to have you on, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, David
What's
Gomez
good,
says the
fellas?
hair thing is crazy. Awesome. Go ahead, JT.
I was just reading some of the comments. What's good, fellas? Good segment. I think you guys should do a little bit of history on silver. While it's good to have, silver has not done as well. It yields as an investment. Now we speak on that as well. It's definitely not number one. It's not an investment. We can definitely separate that. Gold is definitely just a hedge of protection. It's a great saving plan for some, and a good way to put their money to protect against inflation for others. So definitely not an investment. And we know that it has not compared to stocks and other investments like real estate, but one thing for sure, it's a good place to put your money for saving. And that's how I look at it. And I also look at it as a product that I use in order to make a profit from. And that's it. So definitely not, but not investment. But that's a good point, though.
No, of course, of course.
Okay.
100%. No, I can't add nothing else to that.
All right. Definitely. You look good in that shirt over there, and that a nice set of headphones you have there, sir. Like we kind of like twins. Like you're Rob, you're Danny DeVito, and I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it's
Okay.
like we can do an episode of twins.
No, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, that's not true. I think my bicep is still a little bigger. Pause.
Pause. Oh man. All right. So let's go into the last topic here, JT. Gold and silver as a safe haven. We talked about gold and silver being as an investment, but let's talk about the other side, it being a safe haven. What's your thoughts on that?
It's definitely a safe haven, Eli. Looking at the best place I believe that I could put my money without actually putting it in something that can allow it to grow. Because I have not done that yet. I haven't put it in any investment real estate, in the stock market. So for right now, the best thing for me to do is put it in gold and silver because that allowed me to save. I even limit my banking because my bank has to be strategic. What would I use it for? To pay bills, to hold certain money in accounts. I do have an IRA for my bank, a money market, but not really much. So gold and silver is my safe haven for saving money. What about you?
Gotcha. I just feel if there is a time to stack, I believe like within the past 2 years is that time.
Yes.
Maybe even more, like especially when gold was at the 1100s. But right now, with everything going on, you have all this stuff with the feds, like we said, cutting down interest rates, all these things that's going on. It's not looking good. It's not looking good as far as the economy. All right. Yeah, we can have speculation, but like I always say, we've been in the longest bull market ever. Going on 12 years or 11 to 12 years. Yeah. We all know the roller coaster don't just go up and up and up, and I don't know if you've ever been on a roller coaster. It's just it takes a slow time to go up,
but it comes down fast.
But it makes you anticipate that downward movement. But when it goes down, it goes down extremely fast.
Right.
All right. So that's the whole thing. I feel like right now, this is not based on facts. It's just based on my gut, my feelings. I just believe right now is a great time to buy, and it's for that purpose of gold and silver being a safe haven.
Right.
All right. Especially right now, we're buying it like towards its low. It's closer to its low than it is to its highs. Okay. And I still believe it's undervalued and backed it by the fact that a lot of electronic stuff it's being more like more electronics are being produced that contain silver within them. Okay. What's your thoughts, JT?
As you say, just not just the ability for it to be a safe haven financially, understanding that it makes its money, or that money is being made in the industry by using this product, the silver paste and solar panels. The gold was not being used as much as silver, but you got silver used also in the medical world, automotive. You have it in medicine, also in operating rooms when it comes down to sterile of the tools being used. When you have gold just being the staple, it's been for thousands and thousands of years, having this value, and that also being used in computers for motherboards and things of that nature. I think it's chips. So both are in an industry, so it has its values there as well. So you want to put your money in something that you see that deems valuable. So that's another reason why I do precious metals and put my money into savings. It's a good way for me to do it.
No, it makes sense. And you back that with the fact of the government are buying gold. Since 2010, they've been buying gold, but we're talking about it increased in a rapid rate. I actually have the chart here. I can't pull it up, for you guys to see it, but I actually have the chart, and I actually have a video that's coming that's talking about it. I forgot. I don't know which day is either Monday or Tuesday, Monday or Wednesday is coming up that actually shows the chart, but it shows that they're rapid buyers. Like it just went up from 2010 to 2019. It's been crazy how much tons of gold they buy. All right, and we're talking about 1 ton is equal up to over $46 million. All right. In the US in September 2019, the reserve actually carried about 8,000 tons and above. So the governments are buying gold. We have to ask ourselves, why is that? Right? Do they just buy gold because it looks pretty? Or do they buy gold? Yeah, that too.
Looks nice.
But are they buying it to protect? Like, or are they buying it to resell and make money off? Are they buying it for an investment? You have to ask yourself those kind of questions. Or they're buying it because, hey, in case there's something that they don't see, in case there's something that may happen. Because we all know it's a given. All fiat currency has gone to zero in the past.
Right.
All right. And our the US currency has been like dominant for the past 100 years. But when you look at the average currency as far as dominance, it's in between 92 to 95. That's the average.
Right.
All right. And we're way past due. You know, so it's just things like that. That's why I talked to you, JT, before we went on. And I was like, hey, I may take a huge chunk of my savings and put it into gold. Sometime this week. I'm not too sure. Yeah, just to hold. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to see if it goes back down a little bit, like maybe. But to be honest with you, I don't possibly see it going down. Right? And then we add the fact of the U.S. the U.S. election that's coming up this year. Well, how do you think that can affect the prices of gold, silver, and other metals, JT?
Hit that question again.
How do you think the U.S. election that's going on this year, how do you think that may affect the prices?
Well, it's all about how they go into the election this year. It will look real good if President Trump can have the economy back together before that time, and that time November. So he got a couple months to try to knock that out, to change some things. He'll look like a real hero if that could happen. So that would look great from the Republicans if that could work out. So it's all about the health of the economy, because that's been the big scare. You have thousands of jobs being lost. You also have, this supposed to be the best job time, economic time. It was touted early in the year, around last year, December, January, February, up 7%. So this is, you don't want to hear them type of things going to the election, because you don't want to see that drop to be dramatic. But you hear a lot of businesses close down. You see a lot of business not working during this time frame. So a lot of things can affect. So we got to look at what side going to make the best rules to get us back where we need to be.
Makes sense. Okay. And of course, you know, we can't blame anything that's going on right now on the active president right now, because, you know, we do have the beer flu that's going around, and I think that has a big part of what's going on within the economy today as well. Well, as far as the stock market crashing and things like that. So that's why I believe silver's a safe havens, and I do believe, hey, the time to buy silver is now. Within the past 5 years, it's been that time. All right, because if silver pops, and we always see it. If silver pops right now, let's say silver just tomorrow it goes up to $25, a lot more people is going to be buying silver now. Right. And it's not the time to, I mean, you always want to buy, but when it's going up, you don't want to just ride the wave up. You want it, you know, you want to be at the bottom and then go up. That's ideal, right? Buy low and sell high.
That's ideal. So you want to definitely focus on that.
So any final thoughts on the topic, JT?
Basically, just continue to buy. Right now, the market is looking good, so it's good to see gold bounce back up and silver kind of stable. But cost average buying, just buy what you can on your budget. As long as you keep at it, you're moving in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And get into the deals where you can see fit. But I believe that gold and silver are safe havens.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, now let's go into the chat. We're actually done with the topics. We want to see what you guys have to say. I want to see what you guys have to say. Anything that's on your mind, any questions that you may want to ask, definitely go ahead down and comment, and make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. If you guys just joined in, make sure you guys hit that like button. It's highly appreciated. And last but not least, if you guys are on JT's channel, come over to the Urban Lifestyle channel just to leave a like, and then go back to the JT's channel if you guys may please. All right. And if you're on JT's channel and you're not subscribed to the Urban Lifestyle channel, make sure you subscribe to the Urban Lifestyle channel. And if you're subscribed to the Urban Lifestyle channel, make sure you go to the not Urban Lifestyle, JT's Corner channel and subscribe to JT.
Mr. Madlock says, let me get one of those Silver Talk shirts.
Awesome.
give Eli or myself email, his on the email, and we make some things work out real soon for some of the subscribers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we have two colors just now, just black and white, with the black background, trying to spice it up a little bit. I got tired of the blue background, but definitely hit JT up. Since he's in charge of that that section. Definitely hit JT up. JT, you have your email?
Yes, I do have my email. But I will also put up Urban Lifestyle's email right there, Urban Lifestyle 1989 at gmail.com. That's Urban Lifestyle 1989 at gmail.com. There you go.
JT Cornrings at gmail.com.
Hey guys, we can go to the next topic at hand.
Awesome. Well, we mess with you. Hey, appreciate the super chat, Mr. Madlock. Highly appreciate it. As a matter of fact, JT was asking if you wanted to come on at some point. Like, I was trying to hit you up on Instagram. I just couldn't find the page. So
right.
I want to see if we could set up anything or let us know, or hit me up on Instagram as well. See if you could come on like for next week's episode.
Anyone who wants to come on to Silver Talk, and we have like a 2-minute segment that we like to have the subscribers to come on and talk about their channel, talk about the topic at hand, maybe give you a 2-minute spill on it. So I think that'd be a good opportunity. So, Mr. Madlock, here's my email address, jtcornrings at gmail.com, urbanlifestyle1989 at gmail.com. If you want to come on the show just to talk about a topic or your channel.
Yeah.
But we are going to have the shirts for sale. We're just working out the price, right? And some other details. But hit us up. We make it work.
There's so much stuff that's coming on with Silver Talk. Like, you guys are gonna enjoy what Silver Talk has to offer in the upcoming weeks. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. We don't want to spoil anything, but it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be awesome.
One number, the first thing I had to do for Silver Talk, because I love it so much, is reduce the shine from my forehead. So that light is no longer being put out, so it's allowed to see the background much clearly.
See, and the thing is, it looks bright on my end. Because
I'm looking towards you.
Exactly, JT. Cover your forehead real quick. See, all right. you can uncover it now, JT.
Hey, yes, I go.
So that, but he did shine it up. He did minimize it, so it's all good. It's all good.
Oh man.
So any other comments? Anybody? Anything somebody want to talk about? Let's see.
So Eli keeps going, and all I hear is a sling bleed. Oh man.
Cool. All right. Let me pull up here. So I can only see the comments on my page.
And Mr. Boss Dog said, I want a t-shirt too. Yeah, the t-shirts are nice. I know that y'all.
It was a great the designer of the t-shirt. I got to give it to him, Gotcha. All right, Mr. Madlock. It's cool. It's cool. That's why I wanted to hit you up. That's cool.
I understand. I'm shy too.
Yeah, I had to break him out of that.
Yeah, but it said, but one thing about the shirt, you go about the shirts. The design is beautiful. Eli designed the script because my script was kind of like, if I would done it, it totally would have been as cool. But as you see, the shirts are done in perfection. So the shirt is actually printed by me, and so most of the shirts will be printed by me. We may do a giveaway one day.
Yeah.
Of the shirts. I think that'd be good to give a giveaway on the t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want to mix it up other than having silver or
Yeah,
gold.
of course.
Because we giving out both on our channel, silver and gold. We definitely love our subscribers.
Hey JT, you said you was gonna bump it up this week with like 2 grams of gold, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sorry. Got to recover from last week.
Man, I mean, I don't have no gold at all, so I can't give any gold out. So
Yeah. Boss Dog says, JT, you need a hat with a silver lining. Oh boy. And David Gomez says, well done on the shirts. They look smooth.
Awesome. Appreciate it, David. Appreciate it.
Matlock, it's a grin with Boss. He says that'd be dope. We're gonna get a hat with a silver lining. Kevin Rose find it all funny. So this is what our chat goes through when they laugh at our expense.
Oh man.
But it's all good. It's all good. Having fun.
Just having fun.
Yeah.
Hold on. Did I? Oh man, I dropped. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I can't lose that.
What's that?
The top for that pen, the Apple pen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Apple pen. I tell you.
And Doc Michelle or Doc Michael, I'm sorry if I said it wrong. He says I can only budget about $50 a month for an investment, but over the last 6 years, I've definitely seen changes to my benefit.
Awesome.
And, hey, that's good, and that's sticking with a budget.
That's awesome.
Sticking with a budget. You see, it's not about I want to buy as much as I possibly can within 1 year or 1 month. It's about having a budget, knowing what you can afford, and just buying little by little.
Yeah,
just buying little by little. That's a great example right there.
Yeah, most definitely. You think about $50 a month, you're looking at still $600 a year, and over a period of time, 5 years from now, the person have $3,000. 10 years, you jumped it to another $6,000. And you put in a nice 8% at least fund. You're looking at more money. So you can have it sitting. You can put it in precious metals if you just want to protect it,
or stocks.
Or you put it in stocks if you want to multiply it. So that $50 a month, we applaud you for at least putting it to the side.
And take advantage of certain stuff as well, like 401k. I wasn't thinking about getting a 401k because I didn't really understand it. It's the first job that actually offers a 401k. I've heard it before, but I never actually did the research on it. But once the guy said, hey, we're gonna match it 50 cents, I was like, what? How much now? Yeah, every dollar you put in, we're gonna put 50 cents in. Like, oh, okay, man, that's all you should have led with that. All right, let's do that. Because it made sense. It made sense. So that's why I did that. But it's always good to invest, whether it be not just invest. It's good to protect your money or invest, whether you want to protect it, like JT said, gold and silver, or you want to invest it, real estate, stocks, bonds, however you see fit. But one of the key component is make sure you do your research. Make sure you do your research. Don't just be like, oh, Eli's buying Bitcoin. I want to buy Bitcoin too. And you know nothing about Bitcoin. You don't understand how it works.
Gotta research.
Do your research. All right. Like me and JT, like even before JT was on here by himself, and I came in and you hear JT just listening to a YouTube about finances and things like that. He's always doing his research. He's always learning. And that's one thing you want to be. I am more of a student than I am a teacher. If I don't even consider myself nowhere near a teacher. I'm more of a student.
I'm learning every day.
Always constantly learning every day. Okay. But anything else on the chat, JT?
We have a couple people on here. We got Mr. David Gomez says, yep, I started putting 25% a 401k, which was my max input for 8 months because I felt behind, then switched back to 6% when it was way too much. That's a hell of a strategy. 25% of your income and then slowly switch back. Well, that's a good thing. You can do it, I think, once or twice a year. Change your percentages. So he took advantage of maybe his more earning months and cut back when he see fit. But the point is, put something away. And I believe Mr. Madlock, he said he just started one as well. So
yeah, and it's just like that as well. Somebody like putting 25% in their 401k. If you really think about it, it goes back into the topic. If you're not in a position to do it, if you're just thinking about survival, you're just like, oh man, I gotta survive. There's no way that you're gonna possibly think, hey, you know what? Let me take 25%. Like, you can't make decisions like that when your mind is, hey, you know what? I gotta eat. I gotta make sure I pay this bill. I gotta do this. The car flat tire. There's no way you can think about it, let alone saving money when you're focusing on surviving.
Yeah, because what you're gonna do, unfortunately, if a tough time hits, what you put away for saving, you got to grab anyway and start all over. And that is a song that I hear sung a lot. So
exactly. There's a lot of people. Got a friend. I was like, hey man, you should save. And then I haven't talked to him for like a whole year, and I come back and I was like, hey man, you should have at least 4,000 right now. He was like, nah, you know what? I only got like $50. Because every time when I try to save, a flat tire comes, or every time I try to do this comes and that comes.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
That's the good thing about what we talked about earlier, having a business out of what we love to do. So even though people who do stack and have their stack and that silver and gold over here, you make it take that piece of precious metal that you can make a profit from. Even if it's a coin, or it could be something you want to melt to make into a beautiful art pour. That's the beauty of me using that precious metals for that, for the particular first purpose, to preserve it, my wealth. The other part, to make something out of. It's just, we have to find something. If it's not this, find something that we can make a little bit more of money of to put away, so we can put away an emergency fund, savings, and things like that. So we don't have to touch the precious metals or stocks or 401k to borrow from. So just got to find that wiggle room. And you talked about it earlier. Sometimes you have to cancel the cable or Netflix and just do Hulu and chill. You got to change the content, or pick up a book and read in the living room with the kids, chill. Something has to happen to cut that fee, or maybe gain a new skill at work or outside of work to make a little bit more money, to put more money away for investments and stuff like that.
Because one of the things 3 years ago, I was like, hey, I just want peace of mind. I want peace of mind. So I've been working on that, and it's like, man, it's good. It feels great because I can make decisions not based on how much money do I have. I can make decisions just, hey, because it's a smart decision.
Right.
Like I was talking to JT. I was like, hey JT, I just look. I have about two of my paychecks in the bank. And that's going to take care of what's after March, January, February, March, April. Yeah, April. I know a lot of people don't look at me like, hey, nobody does that count the months to see what month comes next. I know I'm not the only one that does that.
This is a live stream. You're the first one ever. You're the first one ever to do it on a live stream, my brother. In my Hulk Hogan impersonation.
That sucked. That sucked. Coming from a wrestling fan, that sucked. Okay.
Man, I was at one time a big Hulk Hogan. I was a Hulkster, at one time.
See, you just aged. You just dated yourself right there. I'm more into The Rock. I'm more into The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and early years John Cena.
You definitely. Yeah, I definitely did. I was to say some Bob Backlund. Who remember Bob Backlund? You like who?
I've seen him in the history books. For wrestling.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I said I have two checks two paychecks in the bank account, and that right there is just going to take care of April's bill. So every time when I get my check, I just put it in the I just put it right back.
Yeah.
So yeah, in a sense, so it's not like I'm dependent on a check. Like I went to work Friday. Unfortunately, I haven't gone to work. My grandpa passed away, so I haven't gone to work the whole week. And then Friday came, and I was like, oh, hold on, let me make sure I see how much money I have. And I saw extra money. I'm like, where this came from? Where this came from? And I kind of forgot that I got paid that day. You know, I kind of forgot that I got paid that day. I was like, oh yeah, okay, all right, just take it, put it into the savings and things like that. So that's where you know, and it makes it much more easier for you if you can get to a position like that. It makes it much more easier for you because my boss comes up to me all the time. Hey, we need you to work overtime. I don't need it. I don't need it. Find somebody else who needs it. I think it's much better with them. You know, it makes you like it's like I'm not easily controlled. You know, I'm not easily controlled. Oh man, we need you to work Saturdays. I can't. I got family issues to take care of. You know, so it's just things like that. You know, once you have that peace of mind. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and give like 2 more minutes into the comments, and then we'll head out. See, we try to keep it short. We don't want to keep you guys here for 2 hours. All right.
My investment research started with what a 20 gold piece would buy 100 years ago compared to what it would buy today. Investments metals retain their value no matter what the dollar is worth. Good point.
Exactly. Yeah. So true. 100%.
Yeah. It's that's a definitely good point. Some 72, some 5K4. They have like comments about, I don't know what that was, about teeth. Okay, like about pulling teeth. But you know, as usual, the comment is they are definitely going. Let me see here. Hall says I try to do 5 ounce a year in gold, but Eli's $10,000 on metals a year made me step up my game. Yeah. He's like, oh, that's hold up. Look at that, 5 ounces. I need to step it up. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad gold either. Looking at average of what 15 to 1600 and still doing 5 ounces. It's pretty good.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, man. You know, I got tired of people watching my channels. Like, oh man, you got a little sack. Oh yeah, okay, no problem. Let's switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, just go. Hey, guys, do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Life brings some whirlwinds to you. Just continue to stack as much as you can stack. Definitely here in United States, if you can get extra work, get it when you can get it, so you can put away more, so you can move past that uncomfortable phase that Eli was talking about in the beginning, because that's a story that we're hearing, and we always mention week after week since we've been doing Sober Talk. You know, focus on what's going on in the economy, focus what's going on in your household, and how best you can handle whatever hits you straight up. So if it's something in the economy, something in the household, you got to undercover and got to take it. So keep gainfully employed if you can, or streamline your business, or create a business out of something so you can stay ahead of the game. Stay ahead of the game the best way you can.
And with the way the economy is going and the way jobs are being replaced by AI, it's time for you guys to, it's not time for you guys. I'm just saying it's time for people to step up and be like, hey, you know what? The world is going to be online. What can I do online? You know, what can I do online? I have to build a personal brand, because even companies are taking advantage of that. Like, hey, Revolve is a company and they use influencers to promote their product. They're paying the influencers to put on their clothes or whatever they may have, and they're doing it that way. So building the brand it's a good way. Like if you have thoughts, find out what you're passionate about. Find out what you're passionate about and create a topic around it. And just go ahead. If you like cooking, create a cooking channel. Create a cooking brand, and then sooner or later, once you have that brand, and you could be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna create a cooking show to do all that, right? Hey JT, did you put it on mute again, or is it me? Hold on, type in 1 in the chats if you guys can hear me, or well, of course you guys can hear me, I guess. But I can't hear JT. Can you guys hear JT? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I was there.
I wasn't there for a few. Now you're there.
Okay. All right. It's maybe one. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, but that's pretty much all I have, JT, unless you want to add something else.
Yeah. That's it, guys. That's it.
All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It doesn't matter if you're watching on JT's channel. Switch over to the Urban Lifestyle channel just to hit that thumbs up. All right. And the same thing, if you're on the Urban Lifestyle channel, go to the JT's channel and just put a thumbs down. All right. Put a thumbs down for the forehead. All right.
And make sure you check out all the details inside the description.
Oh, we have some awesome stuff. If you guys into Robinhood, you guys want a free stock, links down there. Some great books, and I'm always updating the books, and I'm always reading books. So some awesome books that I believe that a lot of people should know just to get their feet wet into the amount of knowledge that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because this right here is the best thing you can invest in.
Right.
Right. And also some silver accessories at the same time, like silver capsules, some tubes, stuff that I use to pour. You guys check all that out down in the description below, so you guys can get some free resources there.
Okay. All
right. What you was gonna say, JT?
No, basically the book Fake. Also, just want you still have that listed.
Yes, this is on there.
Yeah, that book was very important to me when we went through it last year. I did have it on audio. I didn't have the physical copy. I'm like, I wanted to, but I do have the audio of Fake. And I thought he definitely put some good information in there that kind of opened my eyes. And he makes simple books so it can be understood. I like Kiyosaki's approach.
Nah, makes sense. It's something that Kiyosaki said too, whether it be I think I saw it this week or last week, where he said there's levels to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you're this is his words, not mine. If you're poor, then there's somebody for that can help you at that level. If you're trying to be middle class, then he mentioned Dave Ramsey will help the middle class. But if you're trying to be rich, then you can't listen to me. If you're trying to be rich, then you listen to me, which was not me, but Robert Kiyosaki.
Right. Yes.
Right? Because there's different levels to things like that.
Definitely different levels. And he was sharing that you have to do X, Y, and Z in order to get to a certain level. Susie Orman was that person to make sure you get debt under control. And then the second level is understanding and gaining some assets, such as real estate. But if you want to know how the wealthy and the rich play, then you can do his rules and not paying lesser taxes, get more benefit from your investments and your business. So there's a lot of things,
and also leveraging debt.
And that's right. Realizing that everything is debt, money is debt, but learn how to put make sure you get the leverage. That's the most important thing that he put. And it's an awesome book. You'll find it right down in the description. I think that we should take some points from it in the later weeks that could kind of guide people on what page to look at or what chapter in the book kind of resonate with us the most.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and we did have a Silver Talk episode on there. We just never came to see the light of day. But we should go back. I do want to re-listen to the audiobook again because I think I read it 4 months ago. Yeah, so I do want to go back on it again. The same thing, But that's pretty much it. I know we said we was gonna go like 10 minutes ago. We said we was gonna give you guys 2 minutes, and then we stayed a whole another 10 minutes. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to work and grind. And JT, go ahead with your finishing statements. And JT froze, so it doesn't even matter. All right. But guys,
I'm back.
Oh, okay. Oh man. Oh, you went to go get the gold that you wanted to give away.
No, the like button. Take care, guys.
Have a good one, guys.